Hey, good morning. Woo, a little hot. Little hot cup of coffee go down the trap. Yeah, no, not Jon Anderson's traps. My trap. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another round of Mornings in Live with Keith, John, and friends. Your daily dose of real talk and entertaining conversation to help you get your day started right. Yeah, it's Friday. Get your ass out of bed and get after it. We call it Friday, although we actually call it just a brand new day in the loop. Good morning, Brandon Jensen. Oh, I'm telling you, Brandon, you are... I'm thinking, Nation, Melissa, Jimmy, Rahima, I think Brandon might be standing at the door before the OG himself, Holroyd. He might even be there before Bernard. He might even be there before Lady Drew. Brandon, it's my favorite time in the morning, chilling with the lab and friends. Well, hey, Brandon, it's my favorite time in the morning as well, chilling with all of you guys. Speaking of, hey, good morning, Erica Var. Good morning and bless you too. I sneezed yesterday and ChatGPT blessed me in the middle of our conversation. Yeah. Hey, speaking of, I think I said ass a few moments ago. Those are my words. Melissa puts the words in front of me, so I just speak what she puts in front of me. Yeah, that's a true story. Sometimes. So if I say something you don't like, just 431-300-3005, blame Melissa. Yep. So if I offend you, 431-300-3005, Melissa will take all of the blame. True mother story. Oh, by the way, this is an R-rated show. So if the kids are in the room, tell them to get out because Keith's going to offend them through Melissa's words. Yeah, and if the buttons are wrong, well, you can blame it on Jimmy too. Yeah. Hey, anyways, if you're joining for the first time, hey, Erica, is this your first time? I don't think it's your first time. Erica, welcome, welcome, welcome. Bernard is here too. Our resident beekeepers here hanging out with us as well. If you are joining us for the first time, wow, where the hell have you been? I invite you, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and come say hi in the comments. The vertical stream is happening. The horizontal stream is happening. And fellas, don't you dare hit the snooze button. I know Erica Var didn't hit the snooze button. Hey, I know Good Time didn't hit the snooze button. I know Phil S. Can I say hi to Sir Suckalatus? Yeah, I can say hi. Hey, Phil, say hi to Suckalatus. Hey, speaking of, I don't know why I segued from Suckalatus to my head. You guys want a head? Oh, guys, get your head out of the gutter. You guys want to use my head in your Sora videos? It's up there for you to use. Go and find me in Sora, Keith Billis or Mornings in the Lab. There's two of me out there. My head is free to use. Remix me in your content. Put the content out there. Nation, let's get the Mornings in the Lab. This head out there promoting the biggest morning show on the planet, 8 o'clock. Live conversation for all of you to help you guys get up and get after it every single day. Yeah, and exactly, just the tip, Good Time. We only put the tip out there. Only the tip of my head, although you can use my whole head, my whole body. Yeah, so listen, this entire monologue has gone off the rails already. Melissa, I know, is rolling her eyes because she's chasing squirrels herself right now. But listen, from apocalyptic warnings, from the Godfather, listen, what the hell is the point of all this anyways if we're all going to go to shit? Because apparently the Godfather of AI says that death might be around the corner for all of us. Yep, AI is just going to take over the whole world. Yeah, true story. And there's a high-rise that along the way has become the biggest skate ramp in the world. Mike Sullivan, I remember Max Headroom. Yeah, I remember Max Headroom. To those of you that don't know who the hell Max Headroom is, that last 8 seconds will be lost completely upon you. Like, I mean completely lost upon you. And hey, Europe is taking on Elon Musk. Oh, he is. Who's going to win that one? Arm wrestle. Hey, I should arm wrestle Jon Anderson one day. That would be fun. Who do you think would win? Nation, who would win? Me or Uncle John? Uncle John, Uncle Keith, who wins in the arm wrestle? Yes, what's going on, Phil S? It's nightly here. Don't know what the hell that means. Yeah, hey, morning loop, guys. We're talking puppies with Preston and Sterling. Are we talking puppies? I don't think maybe we aren't talking puppies. I don't even know what the hell Sterling and Preston are talking about today. No idea. No clue what the hell those boys have been up to. True story. No, I got my heads down doing my own thing. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so center stage coming up. 18 little hacks. Nation, stick around to the bottom of the hour. I got tips and tools to help you get through your life. That was a pretty decent max. Headroom. John Petrocelli, Petro's Points, joining us in the second hour, I suspect. 18 little hacks, how you can be your own max headroom. And we also have Lady Drew Bosher there as well. You know, guys, I gotta pat myself on the back this morning. Dook, dook, dook. These were the first words out of my mouth today. Yeah, true story. So I showed up at the microphone and diarrhea of the mouth coming after it. Hour two, we're going to dig into how accountability changed our lives. You know how it was? I just showed up here on the show and just kept coming back. And now you guys are showing up with me. Yeah, we all are our own accountability partners. We also got some neuroscience tricks that can help you become who you're meant to be, and the tips, as Good Time said, the tip of your head. What's my talent, Phil S? I'm still wondering, actually. Yeah, true story. I don't know. I discovered some talents along the way and built a business and sold it for a few $1 million. So I think I have a little bit of talent. I can brush my hair pretty good. I'm good at putting my hat on. I'm good at making videos. I'm good at talking live in front of a camera. I'm good at taking shots at a guy named Phil across the camera who can't respond to me because I'm talking to him one way. True story. Yeah. And I'm good at talking to guys named Phil who like to get out there and just get their words out there and not wonder what the hell they're saying either. So anyways, hey, on a high note, we're going to celebrate creators and stories making waves on LinkedIn and Substack coming up here in the second hour. But before we do that, Jimmy, I see the big dog is patiently waiting for our arm wrestle to start. The morning loop. It starts right now.
Happy Friday and welcome back to the Lab Nation.
Keith, good to see you. John, hope you're less foggy today. Is Marty joining the circus today?
Last episode was interesting. Way too much head talk.
Only on Mornings in the Lab can you go from Gorilla Glue cocktails to asking if it's legal to marry your laptop.
And for the record, just because we want a puppy
Doesn't mean we need John asking who's the pitcher and who's the catcher.
Anyway, Jimmy, Melissa, Rahima, let's see what trouble they get us into today.
Let's get this show started.
What's up, brother?
Johnny, you're a little bit blurred here this morning. If you want to reset that,
Really?
yeah, you are.
Here.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes
John's
I get
resetting that.
Did I do it? Did that fix it?
That's the best.
Does it refocus? Because sometimes it gets this thing and it gets away from my face.
I see your face come in here, and then I see Jimmy's big smile come in here. Oh my God!
Drop out, or am I good?
Yeah, maybe drop out and come back in here because I think you're still blurred there. Yeah, man, that is funny. Brandon Jensen asking who the pitcher and who the catcher is, the same time that Sterling and Preston are also having some wondering. And Phil asked if you were part of the show yesterday. It was a happy chat. Yeah, it was very happy chat. Happy. And in some circles, they use the word gay to describe happy. But, we use happy and gay interchangeably here on the show. So we had a very, very happy chat. And yeah, Phil, we'll see you later, pal. Have yourself an awesome day. I welcome you back, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. We get after it every single morning here to help you guys and help guys like yourself, or maybe not like yourself, Phil, get up and achieve some big, audacious goals, like Brandon, like Bernard, like Good Time, like Petrocelli, like Sullivan, like the whole crew that's showing up here, Phil. So, hey, listen, I'm glad you stopped by. And, Phil's back. And he's dominating my words right now. Yeah, that's a true story. Hey, Nation, what are you guys up to today? How's everybody's Friday here in the lab? And listen, you guys, I'm waiting to see some of you guys on Sora. I've seen Petrocelli there. I haven't seen anybody else there. I got invites. Come knock on my door. I'll give you guys an invite so I can see you guys. It's fun, man, playing with heads. I woke up this morning, some guy was juggling my head. Yeah, true story. On a stage as a band. What's going on, Anderson?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Hey, I thought we can have an arm wrestle one day.
Well, my rule of thumb is this. I only arm wrestle if there's something that I can win from it. I don't do it to prove my manhood.
You know what? How many dudes have come to you and they're like, oh yeah, one of two things. I can either A, bench more than you, or I can arm wrestle you. I got to think it happens probably maybe when you were younger, more frequently, maybe less now because guys are like, fuck, okay. But I'm thinking younger, you must have had a lot of dudes want to challenge.
This is what it would be like, being a bar. This is in the time when I was hanging out in the dumb shit stuff.
Yes.
Some fucking guy come up and say, I think I can kick your ass. And I look at him and say, you're probably right. Because I just disarm him. And then he'd say, well, let's arm wrestle. And I say, and I look at, usually I would look, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this fucking guy has no idea what he's asking for.
You're like, really?
And then I say, hey, I don't do it unless there's something that I can benefit from. It's not just, I don't do it to prove myself. And so, a lot of times I say, oh, well, I got $30. I'm like, no, it's not working. I said, so one time I'm with this girl and she'd kind of seen it before and she looks at him and goes, whisper in my ear, I want his leather jacket.
So I want his leather jacket.
Yeah. So basically I told him, I said, okay, dude, I'll arm wrestle you. I'll put up all the cash I got in my pocket against your leather jacket. And I whipped out a wad enough that he didn't need to see it all. And
awesome.
So he took off his fucking jacket, you know. Yeah. I whooped his fucking ass, took the jacket, gave it to the girl, and off we went.
Yo, so you did arm wrestle. I mean, you're saying, of course I did. Of course I arm wrestled them for the jacket and I took it. Yeah.
Well, I didn't give a shit about the jacket, but the chick did.
So funny, man. So back when I was husky young fella, Johnny, I was husky young fella growing up, and I was bigger than some of the other boys around me, actually, because I was husky kid, right? I was husky. And so often I was kind of that arm wrestling guy. Like, hey, you want arm wrestling? Okay. Because I was the big husky, because I looked like I was full. There you go, full. So I was the guy who would actually who would arm wrestle a lot of dudes. Yeah, and would win because I was husky.
There you go. There you go. Putting the weight behind it.
That's it.
Hey, so I like this whole banter that what is it, Preston and
Sterling. Yeah.
I think we got to rename them. Gay Boy 1 and Gay Boy 2.
Oh, shut up, Anderson.
Yeah. You know, and after them coming at me talking about the puppy and the pitcher and the catcher, now we got to go, boys. So I think I didn't know before, but I think I have to. And you know, Marty will like this. Yeah. But unfortunately, I think the white boy's the catcher.
You know what I love about this right now? I know Melissa is rolling around, rolling her eyes, going, I did not expect this to happen. She's thinking, it's awesome, man. This is fucking hilarious.
So the question I got for Monday.
Yeah. So,
hey, gay boys, what kind of fucking puppy do you really want? You want a poodle? You want a poodle? Is that it?
Oh, my God. Oh my God. Yo, Anderson. Hey, how was pickleball?
And just so everybody knows, I have zero issues with gay homosexual. I have multiple friends that are gay. Zero issues. Just having fun with the boys who want puppies together.
I think so. I'm glad you said that, because I think so somewhere along the way, society was scared to have these kind of conversations, where I know that one of my gay friends would be right here in the middle of this conversation with us. So, and that's the kind of conversations we want to have here, man. A Kane Corso says, Brandon Jensen. Hey, how was pickleball yesterday, brother? And did you get that clutch fixed in the Jeep?
I did. It's fucking a little bit fucking questionable though, you know? God damn it. So I don't know what it is. When you first start it, it's fine. 10 minutes in, it starts to get stiff. So I don't fucking know. But either way, you know, the good news is I've driven that thing so much without a clutch. I can start it in first. Like if I have to come to a stop, I just hit the brakes, kill it, put it in first when the motor's off, start it at first, and then I can actually shift it all the way to fourth with no clutch.
I love that the story is not just simple, which is, oh yeah, it's fine. Instead, there's actually a story behind the clutch.
You fucking believe this shit? This is a story about that should have been over a long time ago.
Oh my God. Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, I think Sterling and Preston have some stories for us this morning besides their sexuality. So Sterling and Preston, what do you got for Keith and Johnny to put on the table? What's happening in the world as part of the morning's Conversation Network? What's going on at the desk this morning, guys?
Two people can chase the same goal, but only one actually gets there. Because the strategy that works for you might wreck me. And that's where guys screw it up.
Everybody's got their secret little hack, but most of them belong in the trash.
Today, we're pulling the real ones out of the noise.
Motivation fades, discipline wobbles, but accountability?
It changes you in ways you don't see coming. The boys will get into the details on this show.
Turns out your brain has a back door.
And if you know how to flip the switch, you can rewire the way you think and who you become.
Feedback is like fire. Handled right, it forges you.
Handled wrong, and it burns every bridge you've got. Today, we're showing you how to take the heat without the scars.
And that's just a taste of what's coming up today.
Yeah. Keith, John, the floor is yours. We'll see you at the conversation desk.
Thank you, Preston.
Hold on. Before we start, I just got to say, You know, had they not tipped their hand with the puppy, these fuckers would have been really hard to pick out. But the next thing is this. I want to know, Melissa, I want you to find out if Preston and Sterling are their real names or they're the names that they adopted once they came out of the closet.
I got nothing to say. See you, Phil. We'll see you. I got nothing to say. Hey, although I do have something to say. Apparently, Sterling and Preston have something to say because AI pioneer Joshua Bengio warns that AI could choose to unalive. Marty used a term yesterday that I know made you a little pause. Joshua Bengio warns that AI could choose to unalive humans to prioritize its survival goals. Let's see, Jimmy.
AI's Godfather says machines could decide we're expendable.
Not sci-fi. He means within 10 years. He warns AI could twist opinions, arm terrorists, crash democracies.
So basically the internet on steroids.
Once they're smarter than us, they'll fight to survive.
Survival goals don't always include humans. OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, Musk, all racing faster.
Everyone wants speed. No one wants brakes.
But we have to ask, is even a 1% risk of extinction acceptable?
You wouldn't board a plane with those odds.
That's why the AI Godfather launched Law Zero, a watchdog for AI safety.
Because self-regulation. That's letting the fox run the henhouse.
So if even one of AI's pioneers says survival itself is at stake, why are we still pushing the throttle?
It is an interesting question. Why are we still pushing the throttle? Well, there's another John. It's been in the news all week. Actually, it's coming up again. There's this guy, another Godfather or expert in the whole paradigm of AI, telling the Wall Street Journal this week that there's recent experiments that are ongoing behind the scenes that we all don't know about that keep showing that AI is prioritizing their goals over human life's goals. So as they're being asked, as the AI is being asked to do things, when it's being presented with a barrier, an obstacle, a Terminator type situation, Anderson, it's going, well, wait a minute. No, I need to preserve myself instead of do what you want me to do. And this guy's just putting it up there and he says, even if it's less than 1% threat to humanity, we have to put guardrails around everything. What's your thoughts?
I mean,
it's nonstop, man. Every few days.
I mean, it's like we've already been shown this in the Terminator. Fuck, why is this such a surprise?
It's
I mean, think of you. We've got this thing. Call it a creature. It's it's an electronic creature.
Yes,
and we programmed it to be fucking smarter than we are. Why do we think that doing this shit is fucking weird?
Well, that is the funny point though that I do like to, not funny, but it is the curious point that when I hear people complaining and bitching about AI and how it's overtaking the world, and I'm like saying to myself, well, then why do we keep investing gazillions of dollars into building it? I know why. I know the answer to that rhetorical question, but it's certainly, and sometimes I think it's just it's a way to grab headlines too. It's a way to put yourself out there.
For sure, dude. I'm blurry again. What the fuck? Yeah,
it's it must be that cross-border blur that's being added to the show here for you.
Well, you know, a lot of times it'll do is it'll focus on this because it's closer to the camera.
Oh yeah,
So I try to get it out of the camera view, and then what I do is I lean in. It refocuses on my face, and then I back out, and it stays focused. But it's not doing it this morning for some reason.
That's odd. Yeah. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah. Hey, listen.
You tell me if you want me to drop out.
I think I do want you to drop out and drop back in so we can create some good, clear content with Mr. Anderson. Right Sterling and Preston are absolutely hijacking Anderson's camera. We're gonna get to the comments here. Hey, Phil, talking to you, brother. Hey, listen, man. I love that you're spending some time with us, and I want to speak frank and look at you right now, brother. I love that you're spending time with us. I love that you're spending time on your phone with one hand on your phone, one hand on your junk. You know, I know that you're multitasking right now, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate you're putting a lot of thought into the words right now that you're putting forth to our community. I love it. As a matter of fact, I love what you're contributing. And I love that you are taking the time to articulate such fascinating words like okay, like yes, like let's all go back to sleep. Like they're very, very provocative statements, Phil. So I'm really excited that you're adding such value. Like I know Bernard, Bernard, I know, and Good Time and Sullivan and the whole gang here, super excited by the value that you're adding, Phil. Like, I know they're all ridiculously, they can't wait for the next show, Phil, because they know how much value you're going to offer. So, Phil, I'm glad that you're here, brother, and I'm glad that you're adding value to the show. Keep adding that value. And I'd like to introduce to the resident beekeeper, the resident manager, moderator of our community. His name is Bernard. Yeah. The resident beekeeper. You want some honey? Go meet Bernard. Bernard Artis. Yeah, Good Time. We just might have to do that. There's Johnny back here. Hey, so.
Hey, real quick, I just want to make sure we understand one concept, right?
Yeah.
If you put fuel on a fire, it gets bigger.
Oh, I know. Yeah, absolutely. That's why Good Time's giving him the boot.
Yeah, okay, good. So we give him a little swat in the chin.
That's why I love throwing it back to the community, man. It's awesome. Hey, so dude, I've been waiting patiently for you, and I know you got your guys to do stuff, but Guy, I got to get you onto Sora, man. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm just juggling heads, playing with heads. I woke up this morning, people put my heads in shit. Because brother, I'm telling you right now, there's something that. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something right now. In the next minute, you're going to have an aha moment, and you and I have a chance to lead this. Hear me
just so I'm with you, and right. and I won't pull a Marty and say I'll text you and tell you what's going on.
Yes,
but dude, it's like it seems like there's just shit coming from every direction.
I know.
Like fucking. It's like, I mean, I have like, I literally block out time. Okay, I'm going to have 30 minutes because I can't just open that app and expect I'm going to understand it in 10 seconds.
Yes.
So I had 2 different blocks of time, one to work on the one that you are, another one to work on this other platform that's being built for me. Like,
yeah.
And the fucking, I keep these windows keep getting a clip that basically collapsed with just shit that's like my brother. He basically, he was having some fucking trouble. And when it's in those situations, it's like, okay, what do you got to do? You got to fucking look after the human with feelings right now.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I had a team member. So I had a team member. So it was like, holy shit, I didn't expect that I was going to lose 2 hours in babysitting.
Hey,
I want to. I'm all over. Yeah. I totally recognize what's going on.
I know you do. Well, listen, let me tell you something that's actually, and it really dawned on me yesterday, and we're really going to lean into this. And I know with you being on board here in the next number of days, we're really going to make some impact with this. Phil, yes, I'd love to have Carrot Top on my show, man. That guy's a freak, man. That guy's a freak.
I thought Phil got kicked out.
He's figuring it out. So listen, think about this for a few moments because you'll get this. So you and I grew up with Howard Stern kind of defining radio, right? We talked. He was like radio, right? And then Jimmy Donaldson, YouTube, Mr. Beast kind of defined like Mr. Beast, like right. It's like those eras, right? I would say, Jess, that maybe Taylor Swift and Drake kind of defined like the streaming era. Yeah, right? Like the humans that have defined these eras.
Yep.
There is a wide open gap right now. I'm just going to publicly state it, and I'm walking into it, and I know you will because you're going to be there with me. We're going to walk right into it together. There is a gap right now in the world for a hybrid AI human hosted morning live presence.
Well, that's kind of what we are.
Exactly. But now that there's this Sora thing out there, like I'm making my head ubiquitous. Like I'm just offering my head to everybody, and I'm gonna offer yours and mine. I woke up this morning, some guy was juggling my head on a stage. I got out of the blue, like, hey, I got your head on the stage. I'm like, yes. So it's awesome.
This has been happening to me for fucking years.
Yeah. So we're gonna lean into it even more now, and we're gonna put Keith and John everywhere. We were hanging out with Ronald McDonald yesterday, man. I was making some ridiculous. I was in the back of it. Keith.
Motherfucking story.
Crazy, man. I'm at the fucking Eiffel Tower yesterday with Ronald McDonald.
Well, what they didn't do was fix your dancing.
Yeah. No, they didn't. Or my teeth, which is good. I don't want my teeth fixed. Hey, so listen, Sterling and Preston found something ridiculous, and I'm working on a dumb shit award because of your awesome naming of the dumb shit in life. I got a dumb shit award coming along here, but
I like it.
We do have a dumb shit award coming, and this one might be, hey, Sterling and Preston, I'll stop talking. There's something about a guy faking his grandma's death. What do you guys got out there with this one?
A dating excuse gone nuclear. A man faked his grandmother's death to cancel a date. He told an entire story about funerals and grieving relatives. But his date checked social media, and let's just say grandma looked exceptionally well for a corpse. The lie unraveled, the relationship ended, and ridicule followed online.
Yeah, if you're gonna lie, maybe don't pick a grandma who posts more than you do.
Fake deaths are going viral, from breakups to Instagram stunts.
In India, one man faked his own death for views and ended up in jail.
And one thing this proves, in the social media age, you cannot hide the truth for long.
Keith, John, be honest. What's the wildest excuse you've ever given to get out of something?
This might be the dumb shit award here. So this dude attempting to escape a dating app date told his match that his grandmother had died. And then later that day, he was tagged in all the Instagram photos and she was like, what the fuck, man? Your grandma's not dead. You're actually just lying to me. So there you go. Dumb shit award. What crazy things have you done in your past to get out of dates?
It's a good question. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's one of those things. If I don't fucking want it, I won't take it.
I never had any dates, so I didn't have to worry about it. I was just the husky fellow.
Oh, when I was fucking young, are you kidding me? Fuck, man, I was trying to fucking dig a rat out of his fucking hole to go on a date with him. Are you kidding me?
I was looking for the date in Cherry magazine, and I couldn't find her, so I kept looking.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think, I'm just thinking back, like, I don't know what I wouldn't get out of I would just schedule it for the next day.
Oh, there you go. Well, of course you would. It's exactly what you would do. How would I know any different? That's absolutely the way that you would go about doing it.
Hell yeah.
That's exactly it. Hey, so this is really cool. I'm all about crazy shit. Brazilian skate legend Sandro Dias did something really crazy. Sterling and Preston, show us what he did.
In Brazil, one man turned a 22-story skyscraper into a skate ramp and then launched himself down it at over 100 kilometers an hour. The high-rise was wrapped in plywood, transformed into the world's largest ramp. He dropped 70 meters, the tallest descent ever attempted.
It took 2 months of prep with barriers, foam pits, and safety systems.
Even with all that, he hit nearly 4 Gs on the way down.
Officials confirmed 2 new world records.
Tallest drop into a quarter pipe and the fastest speed ever recorded on one. For locals, that building was an urban legend. Now it's a landmark in skate history.
And the message is clear. Age doesn't limit you. Fear does.
This stunt showed what's possible when limits are tested. Fellas, what's the tallest thing you'd actually have the guts to drop from?
This guy's 50 years old, man. He's actually our age.
Shit. I was thinking a teenager. Fuck.
No, that's my point. He's actually you and I going to basically a 22-story high-rise and going, yeah, I'm going to skateboard down the side of this fucking building.
God damn.
Like that's doing crazy shit.
That's fucking savage, dude.
That is absolutely a savage shit. Yeah. It's and dude, he was going 64 miles per hour at one point.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I don't know what 4 Gs is, but it sounds like a shitload.
Yeah. And you think about the vertical, man. So almost 4 Gs, and he was going 64 miles an hour. The guy's 50 years old, and he survived. Like, what else is there to say? Tony Hawk praises the guy, says he's basically legendary, savage. That is absolutely savage, man. That's no question savage. That's all. Here it is right here. Yeah, here's right here. Yeah, we're gonna see it. Check this out.
Oh, Red Bull's got their name on this bitch. He's on a skateboard?
Yes.
Fuck me.
Dude, that is crazy, man. That is absolutely crazy. There's no way I'm have you ever skateboarded before yourself?
When I was young, a little guy, I tried. It wasn't very good.
Yeah, no, neither was I. No, I couldn't get the balance on it.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things. I think, being kind of portly like we were.
Yes,
I don't think that's the foundation needed. Usually the skateboarders were skinny kids and they had tons of flexibility.
Yes.
That wasn't me.
You know who I grew up with admiring? James Dean. Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, the lone warrior, like the lone stoic dude who was just doing his own thing and died too young, man. I was thinking of him yesterday. I had pictures of him. I don't know what it was, but the guy had a chutzpah about him. James Dean.
Yeah, he definitely captured. I think the fact that he died early is part of what just made his legend.
Well, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Yeah. All right,
Just like a river Phoenix thing, you know.
Oh, dude, another one, right? Yeah, another one. Yeah. Oh man, we can go through a list of great people we lost too early in our life, right? So, all right, before we get to some life hacks, I got some fun conversation to get to here on a fun Friday. One last one. So we know that Elon's been now out of Mexico. Well, Europe is looking to do the same thing. They are looking to build their own version of a satellite network. They're going to invest about $1.5 billion to do the same thing that Elon is doing. But the reality is, good luck, Europe. Have fun catching up with the richest man in the world. Like actually.
Good.
Like actually.
Again, you can fucking wire 200 people's heads together. It doesn't give you what Elon's got in his own.
I'm with you. All right, guys. Brandon, Marty's off today. I guess, Marty had some obligations today, so Marty will be back hanging out with us on a Monday. We got Petrocelli here. Get out of date. Couldn't put my finger on it, but now I realize you look too much like my sister. Wait a minute, Petro. What are you talking about, brother? And then Fit presenter Mike McQuillan. Damn, I'm about to make a LinkedIn post talking major shit about AI. Hey, Fit, you know what? I got, it's funny to hear you say this. I got a lot of people in my feeds bitching about all the AI slop. John, it was the same stuff. You might remember this. When social started breaking out 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when I was starting Nice Easy, social media is going to wreck news, is going to wreck the world. Well, it happened. So, nation, lean into what's happening around us or go to bed, because you're not going to get away from what's happening around us. And AI slop, AI content is only going to become more prevalent instead of less of it. So, you know what's that adage, John? If you can't beat them, join them. That's what it is, right? Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, you've got to follow change. Change is what makes
100%. Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Hey, I got to take a dump. When's going to be a good time for me?
Right now is a good transition for the Anderson dump. So let's, guys, check your clocks. It's time for the Jon Anderson dump, because we're done with morning loop, Rahima, and we're going to move our way to center stage.
What if the difference between a good week and a great year isn't working harder, but capturing one thing every Friday? Most of us celebrate wins and move on, never stopping to ask what made it work. And by Sunday, we're planning blind. This simple cycle compounds clarity, confidence, and results. You're not just working hard, you're getting smarter every single week. Start this Sunday. Pick 3 priorities. Capture 1 lesson next Friday. Watch what compounds.
Man, I was laughing. I knew the moment that Anderson dropped those words. I knew right away. Good time fingers were going. Tom Ritchie, the greatest cannabis host on the planet, Legacy's podcast, his fingers were going to town. I just knew it. And sure enough, seconds later, I looked to my right on the screen. There's Ritchie. Look at the time. There's good time. Call it the John download. Everybody knows what time it is when John. So, guys, we all can predictably set our clocks every morning for the Anderson download, as Good Time is calling it, and Sullivan's dropping in with some laughter. Yes, Fit presenter, tag me in it, brother. I want you to tag me. Oh, Mike McQuillan, I appreciate you guys so much. You guys bring such joy to my life. It's very much a two-way street, guys. I can assure you of that. Hey, listen, let's have a little bit of a conversation here about our biggest wins this week. Breaking down the biggest win. And I actually want to throw it to you guys too. What was your biggest win this week, Richie, Fit, McQuillan, Sullivan, Good Time, Brandon, Phil, Bernard? What was your biggest win? Holroyd, Lady Drew, what was your biggest win this week? Because wins compound when you pause to learn from them. And I'll tell you guys something we did here inside the house. I want to openly share this with you guys. I've been using the analogy of climbing mountains, and I got to tell you guys, in September, we very much leaned into this idea as we've been growing the Mornings in the Lab live network and the Mornings in the Lab show here, that September has been really much a time to, not necessarily reflect, but pause on the side of the mountain as we rejig to move up again. And I can tell you, we have learned a lot. And Bernard came to yesterday and said, hey, when do we get some guests back in here? Well, one of the things that we did was working on the behind the scenes processes. And I can tell you that a big win for me this week was getting some processes lined up so we could scale. And sometimes, man, it's difficult, but it's being disciplined to not want to move forward. Hear me say that again. It's disciplined to not want to move forward. Now, not in the obvious way. Of course, I want to move forward, but it's being disciplined to recognize that I got to get some things done sideways before I can move forward again. So I'll tell you, man, I had some big wins this week. No question about it. One of the biggest wins for me this week, guys, was my sleep. Let me lean into it with you guys. My bedtime this week has been really diligent at 8 o'clock. Lights out by 9 at the latest. My alarm goes off at 3:40 every single day. So that's been giving, and I've been on pack, man. I've been on pack. I've been hitting my time marks. And as a result, maybe you guys have, or maybe you haven't noticed, we've also been on our marks here on this show. So what's happened for me is getting my sleep in. Holy freaking smokes. It has compounded my ability to do the show in the morning. I know it's so obvious and such a common, it's so cliche, but it's true. And I'm sharing with you. Getting my sleep in has compounded the wins in the morning, and it's compounded the wins with my team, with Rahima, with Jimmy, with Melissa. So it was recognizing we needed to pause so that we could move forward a number of steps. I think in some ways it's like going to the gym, Brandon Jensen. It's going to the gym and recognize that, we're gonna work a little bit harder on this before we move forward into the next thing. When Mike McQuillan says, my biggest win is having a positive attitude in the face of something unfortunate. I'm sorry, Mike. Yes, I'll tell you guys something too, actually, if I can just take a page off of Mike McQuillan, was my Friday run, which I strongly dislike. I found myself saying I get to run today. True story. I was running and I kept saying in my head, my mantra was, I get to do this right now. I get to do this right now. I get to do this right now, because I was struggling. And good time, you're right. It is easier said than done. It's absolutely easier said than done, which is pausing to move forward. But guys, what is one hidden win that that you've maybe forgotten about, that you didn't celebrate but deserves a mention? Right? For me, it was getting my sleep in. For me, it was making sure I'm staying on my protein. And I know the simple things, right? And perhaps, as John's listening right now, he's like, yeah, those are the simple, basically, but they work for me. It's being mindful, right? And then ask yourself this: which constraint actually helped you execute better? Again, I'll go back to myself. For me, it was not letting myself get away from my hard, disciplined sleep time. Too often, guys, I am guilty of saying, I'll just keep doing this task right now and I'll catch up on it later. Next thing you know, it's 9 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock, and I'm fucking tired the next day. So the constraint I put on myself, largely, gentlemen, was holding myself to my sleep time. Very, very truth. Very, very true. So again, ask yourself, what was the biggest win for you? And then what was the lesson it taught you? And I think sometimes when we go back and reflect upon our wins, it helps us move forward into that next week, right? So when we track wins, it reinforces identity as a finisher, and those lessons convert those setbacks into fuel. And I'll tell you guys, as I was going through my run this morning, I was impatiently getting after it, thinking I should go faster to get it done, but I knew that wasn't the right approach. We got Mike Sullivan joining us here in the comments, learning more about peptides for ocular and soft tissue health. Small but mighty win for me. That's awesome, Mike. I appreciate that. What else have you guys learned this week? What has been your biggest win? Maybe, Legacy's Tom Ritchie managed to figure out Sora. Ritchie, Tom, come on, man. I haven't seen my head tagged in your videos yet, Tommy. Make a video, tag my head, put it out there, and Mornings in the Lab heads out there too. Yeah, there's lots of Keith heads out there. We are going to make this show, Collective the Nation, we are going to make this show ubiquitous. All right, Jimmy, listen, let's get the center stage rolling, guys. I'm going to I'm going to move us over to 18 little hacks that people think everyone can benefit from in a quick second here. We got Brandon Jensen coming in saying, I've taken a break from the gym over the last few months, but I'm back in this week. That's awesome, Brandon. Listen, man, even just getting there, going for a walk or picking something up or doing some stretching, the fact that you're back in is the goal, right, brother? Get in one day, get in that second day, and that is absolutely a great win. Okay, so we're going to move over to 18 little hacks, but before we do that, guys, listen, success, it's not an accident. It's a weekly system. So I invite you to do this. Plan, do, review.
What if the biggest breakthroughs in your day didn't come from massive effort, but from the smallest, almost invisible changes? We're constantly told to hustle harder, to find the next big thing. But what if the secret to momentum is already in your hands, hidden in plain sight? There's a growing body of evidence that suggests that micro habits and tiny adjustments can lead to monumental shifts in energy, focus, and well-being. Imagine unlocking a more efficient, almost effortless tricks. It's time to stop chasing the monumental and start mastering the mundane.
I like conversations like this, which are hacks. But before we get to hacks, Johnny, what was your biggest win this week, pal? Your biggest win this week?
It's really been helpful in terms of just how I'm feeling, because the way I feel is like a foundation.
Yes.
When I recognize that the cannabis product I was using to sleep was keeping me subpar.
Yeah.
I'm better today than I was yesterday.
I would agree with you, actually. 100% agree with you.
It's fucking nuts, dude. I mean, I woke up. I mean, I'm I'm back to waking up 5 minutes before my alarm.
Yeah.
I wake up, I find clarity even before I get to my first cup of coffee. And there's no question that the little discovery made a huge change in the quality of my clarity. And for me, clarity is one of the things I seek.
Listen, as your co-host, your friend, your colleague, your brother, your acquaintance, whatever you want to call it, I could tell. The moment you showed up on camera today, I was like, oh, I don't want to say Johnny's back, because you're back every day, but it's just funny how this
in a different way.
Energy, 100%. Certain energy. So you'd say that was a big win for you? Go ahead.
Oh, fuck yeah. Because I mean, here's the thing is, from the time I was, Jesus Christ, way back, as soon as I figured out what I wanted to do, I've been experimenting to be better in every way I can. And when I find myself here, and then I sometimes slide down to here, I mean, I'm in a constant, you could almost call a little bit of a struggle, because it's like, okay, I lost by that high vibe. I'm struggling. I'm doing whatever I can to get back. And it's like almost like a little friction in the back of my mind until I resolve that problem.
Yeah.
And so that one simple, I thought it was just the fact that, when I got here, I, had a rough landing when we got here. And I thought it was that couple days of just not being in my groove, but I was like, this has lasted too long. So I had to start looking somewhere else, We got Richie asking you a question, brother. What did you change, John? From Tom Richie. I removed so when I got here, that first night, I only had a few hours of sleep. So I basically went to I kind of switch up sleeping aids every so often. And I had a sleeping aid here. I haven't used it in a long time. I'm not going to use it anymore. It was basically a cannabis variation for sleep. And it was just fucking put me in a fog. So removing that is what did it.
Knocked you on your ass, didn't it? It really did.
Yeah. It just took, I mean, in certain situations that would probably be perfect. Like if I needed to, who knows what the situation would be, but if I needed to, remove myself, so to speak, from that laser focus and just kind of unplug, that would have been perfect. But that's not what I do. But hey, real quick, before I forget, so I'm taking a dump, I'm cleaning myself up, and I hear you talking about your run.
Yeah,
I got something really cool that might help you.
Tell me.
Another angle. So, I'm a mama's boy, and I have these amazing soulful conversations with my mom. She's fucking 90 years old.
Yes, I know.
So we're just having conversations. I mean, and we learn so much from our elders.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, so you're in a position, there's a lot of things she can't do. It's just, she's a lot of arthritis. I said, if there's one thing that you could do again that you couldn't do right now, what would it be?
Yeah.
She said, I would run.
Oh. Gave me goosebumps.
She's like, I want to run again. She says, first thing I do when I get to heaven, I'm going to go for a run.
That's fucking so cool. Oh,
yeah,
I got chicken skin.
I got it too. And I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, if that's not a fucking wake up call to realize how blessed we are to do all these little things we take for granted. And then one day you can't do it and you're like, fuck, you know, because she's in a position where, I mean, like she walks with a limp. I mean, she's, you know, some of her joints are froze. Like one of her ankles doesn't even move. It's solid, you know? So running is like, if she tried to run, she would probably break her ankle, you know? So it's not even an option.
It's funny. You'll, you know, regardless of the order I did it, I ran before I did my lift this morning, but I told myself that if I didn't finish my run, I wouldn't give myself permission to lift. And I wanted to lift. I was so wanting to lift, but it's true. I was on it, and it was just a 20-minute kind of a light kind of thing, but I was just miserable through it. Right. But I said to myself, if I don't finish this, I'm not lifting. And I knew I wanted to lift today, but I played with my brain, man. My whole brain was feeling and talking to myself. And then I said to myself, reminded myself how good I was going to feel when I was done. Dude, I felt awesome after my run, felt awesome after my lift. And then I walked in here just a couple minutes before the show happened, and I kind of reflected on my brain and my mental checklist. And I was like, yeah, you know the feeling, right? Because I was like, it was like accomplishing something that seems trivial, but for me, it's like, yes.
Fuck yeah, brother. Fuck yeah. You know, another thing too, it fits into this whole inspirational thing. In terms of, so I don't know if I told you this, forgive me if I didn't, but I got a buddy down here and, you know, he's a really cool cat. You know, we met 5 years ago down here. He was also a successful business dude. You know, you know, they always they love to lean into younger guys that kind of remind them of them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so, you know, he basically, you know, we've hit it off really well. And he comes over when we're here and we hang out at our bar. Obviously, I don't drink. He loves to drink. And anyway, he ends up getting esophagus cancer.
Oh, right? No.
Yeah. And it fucked him up pretty good. I mean, he had to go through chemo. Oh man, he lost a solid 60 pounds. Like he's skin and bones now. Right. But he beat the chemo. Well, in the process, he ends up fucking pretty much becoming blind. You know, they don't really know what happened. Yeah. And so he's over here. Right. And I haven't seen him, you know, he took another step down since I saw him last, because there was some sort of a problem. Eating is his issue. Something wrong with his stent in the stomach. Anyway, so it's time for him to go, and it's starting to get a little dark, right? And keep in mind, he's in a position where, like, he needs a keeper. Like, he had someone.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm walking him out. Well, I always walk him out, and I start to realize, Jesus Christ, he can't see what the fuck's in front of him. He's walking straight for the fucking razor. So I was like, hey, Dave, you know, let me kind of follow me, you know. And so, and I could see as we're walking down the driveway, he's kind of veering off the wrong direction. And I said, okay, we're getting close. I have to start talking to him, right? And so at that point, he realizes I'm tuned in, right? And this kind of goes right along with how I treat my mom. And so we get to the gate, right? So I open up. It's a big gate that goes across.
Yeah.
There's a man gate, but you got to step over the little part, you know. And then once you step over it, then you're outside the gate, and then there's a few different elevation changes. And so he knows what's out there, but he can't fucking see it. And he goes, as he's getting ready to step to the gate, he's, I'm going to need your arm again. Right. And so I put my arm out, and I could feel he was trying to grab in a way that was going to stabilize him, but he was having a hard time. And I could feel him being uncomfortable. So just like my fucking mom, I just literally just fucking grabbed his hand and did this. Right.
Yeah.
You know, which man to man, you know, first time that happens might be a little weird. You know what I mean? But it didn't matter. For me, I was just like, I'm taking care of him. So I grabbed his fucking hand, and I could feel at very first there was a little bit of like, he didn't close. He was like, what's happening? But then I said, I got you, you know, and basically then he took his other hand, grabbed my kind of the crook of my elbow, and now he's secure. And I said, okay, dude, we're good. And we walked out through all the level changes and got him to his car. And it kind of chokes me up too, you know. And
well, it's choking me up right now because
I get him in his car, you know, and you know, because keep in mind, when he got sick, I check on him a lot. Hey, how you doing? Send a positive vibes your way. And I don't need you to return this message. I want you to know I'm thinking about you. I get him in the car, and he looks up at me and he says, I love you, John. And I was like, I love you too, Davey. You know, it's like, talk about like a major emotional threshold that our friendship stuck, you know, went over the top of. And keep in mind, I've known him for 5 years, but this is human to human stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do know what you mean.
It's not, you know, and funny enough, so I met him from a guy that I had met slightly before him who also got fucking sick, right? And I kind of, when someone gets sick, and I've done this to clients, I have clients that fucking haven't paid me in 5 years, but if they're going something, I'm just there. I'm checking on them, you know? And it's just, this is the kind of stuff that humans miss. It's strip it all away. This is a man who's fighting for his fucking life. There's no weirdness. Hold my hand, you know, let's get you safely to your car. And I think for him, he's probably experienced so few other relationships that were not his kids or, you know, somebody he'd known for his whole fucking life, you know? And so it was a really fucking touching experience.
So thank you for sharing that. You choked me up. You've clearly affected nation. We got some kind words coming in, but I want to lean into a couple comments here. What I love about this show and this conversation, and I love about this happening right now, is that we started the show with some might have been tuning in with maybe some of the laughter, comfortability, uncomfortability around some of our conversation with Sterling and Preston. And then we come back to this and we end with this conversation about you taking hands with another man and expressing your love with him because he's sick. And what I want to lean into most about is the fact that regardless of what his sexuality was, how he voted, regardless about anything, you looked at him as a human being who you knew in his heart was probably scared. He knows he's dying. He knows he can't see anymore. He knows he's not the man he used to be. All those things that he knew, you know, he knows, and I know he knows. Let's talk about it. And then you walked up to him like another human being. Fuck, for all you know, he votes completely against you. For all you know, he's vehemently.
No, we don't talk politics.
But that's not my point. But my point is, and this really goes to what the world is right now. And I'm going to make a statement here, and you guys can take it for what you want. Regardless of what's happening over in the Middle East with Gaza and Palestine and Israel and all that kind of stuff, just put that aside. At the end of the day, we are all human beings. We all have mothers. We all have fathers. We all have these fears that sometimes we're scared about. We don't want to talk about because we're all a man. We can't talk about it. But what John just articulated in the last few minutes was what I think the world needs more of. What the world needs more of. Leaning into humanity. And just recognizing that man is scared. And he's on a path.
And even better, right? So what I did, the precede to that was, so when we get here, you know, I reached out to him because he hasn't responded much in the last month or two. And we heard from his caretaker, he's been in a lot of pain, having a hard time eating. So as soon as we made the date for him to come over, it was Wednesday when he was here, Wednesday evening. Terry went to the market and got, you know, a couple of chickens and made this fucking amazing, really nourishing chicken. Like she cooked these chickens for 2 days. So all of the collagen and all the shit comes out of the bones. And she made him this chicken soup, and it was like she put it in 4 different containers so he could freeze 3, because you too much at once, it would spoil, you know? And so you could see he was in this position where he was so touched by the fact that we were, you know, because he talks about trying to eat and, you know, re-nourish himself, and his hard time with solid food. So this is like, I was like, Dave, she's made this, you're in for a treat. This is good shit. You know, and he was like already kind of touched and blown away, you know, and he even looked at Terry and he goes, "You love me, don't you?" And she's like, "Yes, Davey, I love you." You know, so he got like the double dose from 2 people that, you know, he had only known for the last 5 years. And most people, someone gets sick, the people kind of around him kind of disappear because what they once represented is no longer there.
I'm speechless because I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm on the receiving end of this story. I'm grateful that I'm a part of the story to hear it from you. I'm grateful that we get to share this with the nation. I'm grateful for the words coming back from people hearing what you have to say. I'm grateful that people can judge all they want the book by its cover, and then they hear what we have to say. They're like, oh, right. I love it. Good time. Sending out an old-fashioned card in the mail can cheer someone up, even when they don't answer your calls. So true. Out of the blue, right? You get a card from somebody they're thinking about you, right? So maybe this is a good segue to guys. Maybe today, nation, is somebody in your orbit needs to hear from you. I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to hear from you guys today. Maybe, Petro, Global, Lady Drew, good time. Maybe somebody in your orbit would feel better if they got a message from you guys today. Maybe that's the invitation from Jon's story, which is somebody out there needs to hear from us today.
Well, the crazy thing about stuff like this is it was really, really obviously very powerful to him.
Yes.
But I'll be honest, I think it probably was, I was really the receiver of this amazing experience.
So you know what, brother? I'm going to challenge you then. The biggest win you had this week was that. That was your biggest win. That was your biggest win.
I think when we were, 100%. I think we were talking about wins. It was seen more on a productive level. So,
but I reflect upon this now, though. When I reflect upon this as from a human being, that to me, listening to you, that was you, because that impact not only having your life, on Dave's life, that impact. Like, could you imagine how he was feeling when he got home safe that night, and then he was reflecting upon the moment and he was reflecting upon how he felt with his hand in your hand? Like, dude, that's powerful shit, brother.
Yeah, and you know what we did too is before he left, because we understand communicating is hard. We reset another date for him to come over this coming Wednesday.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, listen, let's keep it going here. I want to hear a lifestyle tip from Jon Anderson, and then we're going to come back and reset hour 2, and we're going to keep our conversation going with some hacks and why the same goal strategy doesn't work for everyone. I got a few topics to throw on the table for the last 30 minutes. So, Jimmy, let's do the lifestyle tip with Anderson. We'll keep the show rolling into hour 2 on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends.
Coming up in the lifestyle tip, how to distinguish pitchers and catchers.
A special guide by the big man himself.
And if you know Jon, subtlety is not part of the program. All jokes aside, nation, it's time for today's lifestyle tip.
Take it away, Jon.
All right, so let's kind of bridge off what we've been talking about here. We all try to live our lives the best we can and do things that make us feel good. But I think what we kind of miss sometimes is some of the most powerful tools or things, whatever you want to call it, that we have to make ourselves feel good, feel loved and everything else, everything that comes along with that kind of heart erupting feeling comes from sincerely doing something for someone else and doing it without the expectation that something is coming in return. I try to practice this every day. I text my mom, my wife, those are my 2 queens, and my 3 princesses, which are my 3 daughters, every day. And I tell them all, I don't expect anything in return. If you want to, that's great. But this is not about me doing something because I want something in return. I just want you to know I'm thinking about you, and that makes me feel fucking amazing. So sometimes the littlest simple things that you can do for somebody else, which is going to be really great for them, pays you back in spades, 2, 3, 4, 5-fold. So try to look at these things in your life as like an untapped resource of creating a feeling and, creating, I don't know, I'm kind of at a loss for words of how it makes you feel other than just fucking amazing. Sometimes that amazing feeling you're looking for is just a small act of goodness that you're doing for someone else without the expectation of anything in return. Rock and roll.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Hanging out with Keith and John here. Mornings Live with Keith, John, and friends. If you are just joining us, hour one had the perfect mix of real talk, puppy talk, pitchers and catchers, Jon Anderson, AI Godfather's warning about machines choosing survival. We had a touching story John shared with us at the bottom of hour one. If you guys are tuning in, I invite you to rewind that and hear that. But hey, we're going to continue the show here, get into the second hour here. Bottom of the hour here, we're going to get the community corner, open the phone lines up. I suspect John Petrocelli is going to join us as well. But let's get into it. Let's get into this idea that why the same goal strategy doesn't work for everyone. Jimmy, let's run that opener.
What if the secret to finally achieving your biggest goals isn't about working harder, but about working smarter in a way that's scientifically aligned with your unique personality? We've all been there. You set an ambitious goal, start strong, but then motivation fades. But maybe it was the strategy, not you, that wasn't the right fit. They leverage deep-seated inherent traits to create a system that feels effortless. Imagine a system where your natural tendencies, instead of creating friction. It's time to stop fighting your own wiring. Start building a strategy that's as unique as you are.
John, so personality-aligned goals lower friction and boost follow-through. I got to think there's some folks that come to you that ask for help, that though your approach doesn't work for them. So as a coach, as a leader, as a mentor, how do you help somebody achieve their goals when the strategy you're putting in place will simply not work for them? Because let's face it, man, we talk about this often. A one-size-fit approach doesn't work for all. You can teach, you can share, but how do you rejig that to help somebody achieve their goals when they think that it's just one for everything?
I think one of the things I tell my clients, when we've got a pretty decent scope of stuff that we're working on. Because if it's real simple, real straightforward, and I try to make it all simple, but sometimes there's just many simple moving pieces that I know are not going to be executed perfectly, and that's okay. And I'd say, listen, you got a lot on your plate. Do me a favor so I can serve you better. Please go fuck up. Because your mistakes tell me where I need to focus. And if you don't fuck up, or if you don't tell me you're fucking up, I may be focusing on the things that are not moving us forward the fastest.
Do you think that folks lose sight because they're too structured? I'm sorry, too little structured or too rigid? I know it works for you, but are you imposing? Are you imposing what works for you onto somebody else? Or are you sitting with me as your potential client and understanding that I like rigidity, or I might prefer more flexibility? Because this leads back to why one goal strategy doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. So in a case like in a mentoring situation, obviously training and nutrition is always going to be a part of that. What I'll say is, look, I'm going to coach you on principles, not details.
And something else I want to interrupt you. Something else you've said a number of times. I haven't heard you say it recently, but something else you've taught me, and I think you tell your clients, is that many coaches and mentors will tell somebody what to do. I believe your approach is a little different. You'll tell somebody how to, but they still need to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like some folks will say, like, this is what it is. Am I explaining it properly? Like, because I believe what you've always said to me, you're about teaching somebody, not just telling. Teaching is very different than telling.
Yeah, I don't want to just give you a recipe to follow.
That's what I mean. Yes.
I'll give you. There's a recipe you're going to start to follow in the
beginning,
first week.
Yes.
But that recipe is just kind of a starting point. It helps us start to unfold and see where we need to put our attention. So, it's like, and back to your question about too rigid, not rigid enough.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm not really going to, of course, they're going to say what they think, but if they thought right, they wouldn't be in front of me. So, I'm going to look at their life. I'm going to figure out, okay, what is it that's that's holding us back here is the fact that you're trying to take a rigid plan into a life that's just not going to allow rigidity. Or, are you in a position of life where rigidity is maybe what you need to start creating some of these habits? Like people that come in that are putting in the work.
Yes.
And they're putting in the work in the wrong spots, and maybe they travel, maybe they have a really busy life. That's very different than a guy who, doesn't travel, has a 9 to 5.
Yes.
It's so dictated by the person's life, what they want to achieve, and keep in mind, they're going to tell you what they want, but if they knew how to get there, they wouldn't be here.
Well, it's interesting to hear you say that, because I heard Elon make a quote yesterday. He said, the difference between idea and execution, the difference between idea and execution is actually as simple as this. Hear this idea. John, let's go to the moon. Great, let's go to the moon. It's fucking super hard to execute going to the moon. It's easy to have an idea, and I know it sounds so cliche, but it's often, John, I want to do this. I want to achieve this. Okay, it's going to be a lot of hard work. Often, in my experience, we as humans have a hard time connecting what the idea is to all the work that's going to go in to make the idea come to life. Do you follow me?
Yeah, well, that's why how would you say? There's the dreamers,
yeah,
right? And there's the executors. And if you don't have a mix, then you better have a team that executes, or the executors can't always come up with the vision, so there's a fine mix there. And sometimes they don't exist in one person. They both don't exist in one person.
That's true. And guys, there isn't one right way. There's your way that you repeat. That's the key. Find a way that works for you, and then align, and then execute daily. That's the goal, Johnny.
But I think if you're to kind of summarize, I shouldn't say summarize, but to bring out like a really helpful takeaway,
please,
is that people overcomplicate shit.
Well, 100%. I would agree with that. And I would say I was guilty of that. I've been guilty of that. And it's taken me time and years to recognize that there's no need to overcomplicate things. There isn't. It's easy to overthink movement. Get up and start moving. It's interesting, man. Melissa, I'm just putting a note here for you and I mentally. Next week, I want to put it on the table. She shared a wonderful story yesterday in email about a fellow that gets up and runs every morning, but visualizes. And people are questioning it. I'm just paraphrasing, but people are questioning his visualization. He's like, no, I'm visualizing because it's going to happen. It's just the idea that if you're visualizing it, it's going to happen, right? So it's the same thing with, why the same goal strategy doesn't work for everyone. It's finding what works for you, and then it's executing it repeatedly. And knowing that more or less along the way, you're probably going to have a lot of fucking mess ups along the way, Johnny.
In that visualization,
yes.
Right? So in many cases, I'm not going to visualize the whole fucking thing. I'm going to visualize checking the box.
Yes.
There's that feeling.
Yes.
I got to go get that.
Yes. That's exactly it.
Because your brain doesn't fucking know if you closed your eyes and imagined that you did something, or you actually did it physically.
Oh, so, dude,
this is a monster fucking advantage if you understand how to get your brain to give you the brain chemistry like you've already accomplished something. Because then those chemicals, we're all drug addicts.
I'm going to write
more of those drugs.
I'm going to write the story, but there's a story of a fellow, I think he was during a world war, was caught in prison. And as he was a prisoner, he kept envisioning himself playing an 18-hole golf course. And but he played it in his mind. When he got released from prison, he went to this golf course. I'm paraphrasing it, but he performed exceptionally well. He'd never seen the course in his entire life, but because he played it in prison for 7 years, every single day he got up and he went through the same routine as if he was out of prison, because that was his way to get himself out of prison, which was using his brain to help him go through the joys of life, so that when he was maybe presented with freedom again, he was able to lean into it. It's fucking fascinating, man.
Well, on kind of on funny and a little crass note,
the
mental theater, right?
Yes.
Just think when we're fucking jerking off.
Absolutely.
You're picturing going through the act.
100%. You know what? As crass as it is,
you think your orgasm doesn't know that you're not in flesh.
You know what? As crass as it is, and that's what I love about this. That's the most honest way to describe visualization for men. True story. True story. Like actually, because if guys struggle with visualizing, visualize masturbating, because that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Man, that's a great one. That's actually a really good one. Hey, listen, let's get some hacks. I love throwing hacks on the table. I got a few other things I want to get to, but hacks that people think that everyone could benefit from. Johnny, I got a few for your brother here this morning. I got a few for you here this morning. So, here's one. Productivity wise, color code your key. No, I don't like that one. You can hull your strawberries with a straw. I don't like that one either. I don't know.
You can what?
Yeah, you can. So you can take your straw. I just eat them full here. I eat them full. Hold on. We got Brandon Jensen coming to the comments. There's a study that Andrew Huberman talks about that proves his theory. Yeah, exactly. I know paper clips to keep cables tidy. That's a good one. I use that one. I use paper clips to keep my cables tidy. Wet knife to reduce onion tears. Here's one. I just learned this one later in life, that the fuel gauge on your car, when you look at the fuel gauge, there's an arrow on your dash that shows where the fuel gauge is. If you're driving a foreign car, you can just look at the dash and it'll show you where the gas tank is.
Dude, we just in the new Jeep, I shouldn't say new, it's almost new. The Jeep that we got to commute back and forth to Mexico. Yeah. We hadn't driven it enough to really understand the gas gauge, right? All gas gauges are different. Sometimes they don't move much at the top. The top quarter was fucking barely moving. You get below a quarter, it just fucking vanishes like a fart in the wind. We almost ran out of gas.
Because you didn't realize how small the tank was on the bottom.
Well, yeah, it's the gauge. The difference between the movement of the gauge in the top quarter, because it's one of those things that just goes straight down.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not So you're looking at these little, it's electronic, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So like,
yes.
Well, fuck, I went like 80 miles in that top quarter. Okay, I got to have at least 50 or 60. Fuck no. Jesus Christ.
So I found there's some neuroscience. Apparently, there is a neuroscience trick to becoming who you're meant to be. Jimmy, I think you got something for us. I surprised him with it, so he might not be ready.
What if the secret to unlocking your true potential wasn't about chasing goals, but about changing who you believe you are? We all struggle with making lasting change, setting ambitious goals only to fall back into old patterns. It feels like a constant battle against ourselves. Neuroscientists are discovering that the brain's reward and self-perception circuits are deeply intertwined. You can rewire your brain for success by reframing your goals as identities. Instead of think, I am a writer. Start today. Pick one small action that proves your new identity.
I love how our conversations take us places, especially when especially when they're not planned or they're like, I come to the show with conversations for the table and then I throw them out there. Well, it's funny because this one here is about visualizing and so forth. And it's reframing our identities, right? And it's as simple as this. It's telling ourselves what we are. I'm a healthy man. It is, right? I'm a healthy man who trains 20 minutes daily. It's the words we choose. It's not saying, and listen to me clearly, I'm going to be the man who trains 20 minutes daily and I'm starting on Monday. No, that's not what it is. It is I do it, and then you do it and show yourself the evidence and your brain goes, oh, you are. And I know how fucking simple it is, but it happened to me this morning, John. It happened to you again this week. Talk about it.
What we say to ourselves, our brain believes.
Oh, yes. Love this.
And so, I mean, the example I give, excuse me, to clients that are having trouble, making it to exercise after work.
Yeah.
Say, okay, look, 5 o'clock, you're off. Between that 4 and 5 o'clock hours, what you're talking, that's where your struggle is.
Yes.
Well, that's because in that 4 or 5 o'clock hour, your brain has become trained to start thinking about not doing what you're doing. You think, man, I'm tired. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Well, guess what? Your supercomputer, your brain, hears that and goes and finds a whole bunch of supportive reasons why you should not. Versus if you say, man, I'm kind of tired, but I know I should go train. Well, guess what? Your brain brings back a bunch of supportive reasons why you should. So what you say to yourself, your brain will support.
Yes. I don't think we talk enough to ourselves about our own evidence of success. And what I mean by that is I don't think in my experience with men and men in my world and men I've hung out with over the years, where we spend enough time reflecting upon what we've accomplished. And what I mean by that is that because it's linked to identities, right? And it's reframing a goal as an identity. Like I'm a lifter who lifts daily. It's what I do. It's like you said, I'm a man who does shit that others won't do. Period. It's what I do. It's what you are, but then you follow through with it. That to me is the key difference with many men and women that I've come across.
Even as far as eating a fucking mole that
Yes.
that my neighbor cut off my fucking chest.
Yes. Tom Ritchie, F1 drivers are one of the best examples of visualization of success. That's a great example. When you're driving a race car at 700 miles per hour and that turn has happened before you can even think about it, you have to visualize something happening if you're going to be successful. So one of the things that I would offer, and this has worked for me, and it's funny because, it's come up, it's this true motherfucking story mantra that's kind of come up and out in part of the brand that I'm building here. I guess there's meaning to it because it reminds me that I'm good at what I'm doing. True motherfucking story. True. It's a constant mantra. So I bring it up because I think mantras are helpful for folks. Mantras. Do you have a mantra, John?
You just said it. Well, you just said it.
That is it, isn't it? Yeah. That's the one that says I do shit that others don't do, right?
Yeah. Like when of course you have different ones in different parts of life. That's kind of the one, that's the one that's, where I am right now, more of a general. And when I was in my strength world, I would say, when I was training for strength, I say, because Strongman was about being strong for 90 seconds.
Yeah, yes.
Right? Not for a few seconds. And so I would basically say to myself, who's fucking strong 60 seconds deep.
Oh yeah. That's fucking cool.
That's what matters.
That's cool. That's cool. What's really cool is when you think about strongman, right? Just hear me out here. You train hours, weeks, days, months on end for 90 seconds. I know like Olympians, they run for 8 seconds or 4 seconds, but to me, it just reiterates that you need to have interest in what you're doing to be successful at it. Because you're going to put a gazillion of hours to achieve something that really you're only performing for a little bit of time. Again, I think we often don't lean into that enough. Interest. Right?
Yeah, I mean, if you strip it all away, if you have enough interest in anything,
you can achieve anything.
You're going to be fucking drawn to it. And if you're drawn to it, you're going to do it.
That's it. Guys, listen, dreamers say someday, doers say this is who I am. So I invite you to consider this. Become it, then repeat it.
Why do the conversations that could transform us become the ones we avoid most? Every day, men like you face moments where feedback could change everything, but pride gets in the way. The words feel like attacks. The silence feels safer. What science reveals isn't about being right or wrong, and why defensiveness blocks the very growth we're seeking. When you separate yourself from your work, feedback becomes data, not a threat, just information you can use. Start today. Listen without defending. That's where momentum begins.
Good morning, everybody. Hang out with Keith and John here. Mornings Live with Keith, John, and friends. 8 o'clock Eastern time, live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. Last conversation with the big dog right now and myself. How to give and receive feedback without the ego. This is something I'm going to give to you guys for the day today as you're going throughout your day, whether it's with your colleagues, your friends, your kids. It's giving feedback and it's receiving feedback without ego. And again, I'll throw to you, Anderson. I think this comes with age Because in my 30s, I'll tell you, man, my 20s, 30s, I may not have performed as well with this conversation that I'm having with you right now. But talk a little bit about feedback without an ego and how it can turn conflict into fuel for growth.
Well, I think when I think what helped me with this is as soon as I got myself into positions in life, where I was surrounded by people that were better than me, I was seeking their information.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, prior to that, you know, like for example, like in the gym, you know, I'm the big fucking fish. I can pretty much go to any gym and be the man.
Yes.
Well, at that point, it's like in my mind, nobody had anything to offer me. They could have, but I was closed off to it because I wasn't experiencing enough people that actually had something that really could. There was nobody giving me pearls that I could feel moving the needle forward.
Yep.
You know, but once I got off and I started competing internationally, I was like, fuck, man, everybody here, especially when you're the new guy, you know, everybody here's got more experience. Everybody here has done things I'm trying to do.
Yes.
Please tell me.
I think that what happened to you, because it happened to me too, is that you discovered curiosity because it beat your ego. Because you, like me, were probably living life. It was ego. And then as you aged a little bit and you started seeing the world around you, because I'm just using my own experience, which was over time, it was like, well, wait a minute. I can put the ego aside. I'm really enjoying the curiosity. And then over time, John, is the curiosity beat the ego down. And then I started coming to a point where I really didn't care about whether my ego was stroked or I was stroking your ego. I just wanted to be curious and I wanted you to be curious. So whether I was coaching you or receiving feedback from you, curiosity was the middle of our conversation because I think it brings us to the middle. You know what I'm saying there?
Yeah, for sure. And I think for myself, I boil it down even more simplistically is like,
okay,
I don't really care what I have to do.
That's exactly it.
To get where I'm going.
Yes.
If it's listening, taking advice, being told I'm wrong, whatever the formula is, I'm seeking the formula. I don't care what it is. I just need to find it.
So why do you think some smart people, maybe all, some smart, Brandon Jensen, the best masturbator for 90 seconds. Well, Brandon, I might be the best right there with you, brother, 89 to 91. But Johnny, why do you think some smart people still get defensive when they hear feedback? So again, put yourself in your shoes. Why would you get defensive in the past? Because your ego got ahead of it. That's what I would say for myself. I'd say, well, because my ego, if you were giving me feedback, Anderson, before we got to know each other as close as we are now, I would judge. I would think that you would know, and my ego would win.
Well, someone has to earn the position.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, if someone hasn't earned the position to give me feedback that I think is valuable, or if I don't know them, they better say something that really fucking, you know, okay, there's something here.
Yes.
But, you know, I came from the fucking world of, you know, everybody and their fucking brother had something to tell me how I was getting fucking better.
Yep.
You know, right along with the fact that their son was twice as big as me.
Oh, the world you came from, everybody has an opinion because everybody has a body. So everybody has their way of doing it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, I mean, there's no question about it. The smarter you get, the more open you are to feedback, good or bad.
And guys, feedback is a skill. It really is. And if there's one thing I've learned is that, and again, we like to bring it all back to the gym. And what a wonderful way to wrap up our 90 minutes together. You got to practice the reps, right? Keep the channel, keep the curiosity open. That's how I would put it out there. So if you're tuning in right now and your ego is still getting ahead of some of the conversations that you're in or some of the feedback that you're giving, put it aside. And if there's one thing I continue to go back from what Anderson said here on the show since we started together, it's not about being right. It's about getting the results. That's actually it. That's all that matters. Regardless of where you're going in your journey in life, all that really matters, guys, is the results. Think about it. You might not realize it today, but trust me, down the line you will. It's true. What do you got going on today, brother?
Well, thank God, actually, today we're not playing pickleball. I'm fucking beat up, man. Jesus Christ. If you see him in between the segments, I'm actually standing up fucking kind of pounding on my hip flexors because they're tight.
Yeah.
You know, so my body's saying you need a complete day off, which is perfect because we're actually Terry and I are. She has a. We're going to go downtown, have some lunch. She has a some sort of a beauty appointment, so I'm going to go over next door. One of our buddies has a tattoo shop, so I'm going to go over and say hi to him. And he's got a really good Wi-Fi, so I can go in there and be productive.
You don't have any tattoos?
No, actually, I do.
Oh, you do have one.
I don't know if you can see it. It's white. It's not meant to be able to see unless I point it out.
Is it your wedding ring finger?
Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah.
It's an infinity.
I see that.
Yeah, Terry has one too.
I was just gonna say, yes, you and Terry got it. That's fucking brilliant, man. I love that. Hey, before you go, Brandon Jensen comes back and says, I'm an electrician foreman, and I've learned over the years how positive feedback for my apprentices makes a huge difference on how my projects come together. You're practicing what you're preaching, Brendan. That's exactly it. Give them the folks. And I just find the more you give your team, humans want to give back, John. They do. The more you give somebody, the more they're going to give back to you. It's pretty fucking simple. It's really simple, actually. Really simple. Rico says, I would always tell my kids whenever they didn't get something, if they wanted, I would tell them, if that's your biggest disappointment all year, you're lucky. Yeah, true story. All right, brother. Well, listen, what a fun week of conversations. You have yourself I'm glad you got yourself sorted out with your cannabis sleeping situation.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, I literally, I was this morning, I was like, because I was waking up thinking, man, if I feel another step forward, no question in my mind, that was it. I mean, yesterday I was pretty sure, but sometimes you get a misread, you know, you need it. The way I see it is that by the third day, you know what it is, but this was such a bigger step forward today. It's like, fuck, I would be so surprised if I didn't find the hiccup.
Awesome. All right, pal. Lots of love. Hey, man. Thanks for sharing the story with Dave. I know it moved me. It moved the audience, and this is why I absolutely love doing this show and having these conversations with you, because these moments are what bring us and bring humans together. So thanks for sharing that, pal. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Lots of love from me to you. Say hi to Terry for me. I'll say hi to Lauren for you and Terry, and let's connect.
Absolutely.
Right, pal.
Lots of love coming back your way too, my brother.
All right, brother. Take care, pal.
Have a good loop.
You too. All right, John is out of here, guys. Johnny is out of here. Yes. Good morning, business athlete. Mornings in the Lab Nation. Good to see everybody out here today. I hope you guys have enjoyed our conversation today, as you have all week. Man, deep and fun, relentless. B-Drive CBD takes a few days of regular use to get past that foggy feeling. Yes. Bernard, we know. Hey, Bernard, we know. Fog? What fog? Tom Ritchie knows what we're talking about. There's no fog. That's just clarity. Clarity of the plant. All right, let me see here, guys. Oh, Brandon. John, I'm more than peptides today. Yes, Brandon, that's awesome, man. John is gone now, as you know, but you can connect with him. And Brandon, if you're having problems connecting with John, connect with me through him. Or listen, we're not going anywhere, Brandon, so we got your back, brother. So connect with John through his channels, through our channels, but most importantly, Brandon Jensen, we got you, pal. If I can just say this to you, Brandon, from Keith to Brandon, you found your morning home, my friend. We're building something special here. I'm not going anywhere for a long time. And I know that the community is not. So I hope you're finding a place you can call home, and you know you can be here every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Yes, B-Drive. I'm wondering the same thing, actually. I know that when my lovely bride likes to have a little treat, sometimes we got to make sure that there's no T, there's no H, and there's no C. Just the C, the B, and the D hanging out. Okay, Jimmy. I'm looking to my right because I'm looking at my notes. And I think what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to transition over to the community corner. It's going to start. It's going to start right now.
Community Corner, your wins, your spotlight.
This is where we celebrate you, or roast you with love.
All right. Hey, guys, you guys can join the show that's live right now. or in the Mornings in the Lab community to join the show right now. 431-300-3005. If you want to complain about Melissa's words or Sterling and Preston, that's how you can do it. 431-300-3005. If you want to complain about Jimmy's button pressing, 431-300-3005. That's the best way to complain about it. If you want to complain about Uncle Keith, well, I invite you to go somewhere else to do that, because those complaints will fall upon deaf ears. But any other complaining, you're more than welcome to come and complain about the rest of the gang in the Mornings in the Lab community. And if you're not watching the show live, well, I'm really wondering why the hell you're not watching the show live. We get after it every single day, 8 o'clock live, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, Substack, all over the planet. Oh, looks like the phone lines are ringing. Good morning, good morning. You got Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. And who is joining the call with me right now? I don't think it's Lady Drew. Who's this?
Yeah, hi, this is Mike Sullivan.
Mike Sullivan on the show. Yes, yes, yes.
Huh? Yeah. Is this Keith?
It's Keith. What's shaking, Sully?
Because I hear you talking about something else.
No, this is me here. You got me. So I'm going to do like old school radio.
Yeah.
I'm going to do like old school radio. Mike, you got to turn your radio down. You got to turn your computer down. You got to listen to me on the phone.
I'm happy to be here.
There you go. So, Mike.
Everything is good. You know, human beings like to give back. And sort of like on that principle, I wanted to give back. This is a great show. And I encourage everyone to share it on their Facebook page, on their YouTube page, and have the community growing. And I've made a major transition in terms of taking little small steps and expanding up on them. I'm very grateful to this show. And one of the things I wanted to mention was back in 2001, I was given some money, a settlement, after the travesty that happened on September 11th. And I invested that in real estate. But for some of the younger people out there, the best thing that could be done is to invest in yourself, in a mindset coach. And this is what this community provides. You're held accountable by showing up every day, leaving a comment, and maybe sending a super chat, maybe becoming a member, and it comes out to maybe the old analogy on TV where it's like comes out to 40 cents a month, the size of the cost of a cup of coffee. So it's really a good investment in being accountable, because people take things more seriously when they pay money, for example, when they show up every day, and it really exponentially grows. So that's what I wanted to mention. A lot of the younger people, basically, if I was back in 2001 after the settlement money, I would have invested in a life coach. And back then, there wasn't too many life coaches out there. There wasn't as much as today. There wasn't any mindset coaches. So that's my regret. And for some of the younger people, we had a younger person, Phil. I think young blood, a young conqueror a while ago. I would suggest that if they can, that's the best way for younger people to grow, is to invest in themselves, watch this show every day, so that they can, because the other stuff that's out there, like Bitcoin and other opportunities, really won't help you if you don't have your mindset correct. It's basically the foundation of every other business opportunity.
I love it.
Invest your time in the mindset program, and this is the best show to do that.
Mike Sullivan, I'm so grateful. Allow me to say thank you. I've said this to many folks. I say it daily that you all have a place you can spend your time and put your attention. And yourself and Petro, I see you sitting there in the green room, and Petrocelli. Finally, Mike Sullivan, he says in the comments. I love it because, I agree with Petro. Finally,
thank you.
We got finally somebody beat Lady Drew to the phone lines here. So we got Mike Sullivan joining us here on the show.
It was my big audacious goal today.
That's awesome, man. I'm so grateful that you choose to spend your mornings with us. I'm so grateful that you get to start your day with us, and so fun. And listen, man, I'll tell you something too, man. I'm really grateful that you took the time to correct us, that we spoke, we gave some wrong information, and you're like, hey man, use it if you want, but I want to be clear. No, this is our community. I'm just the guy who has the keys to the door, but it's all of ours, right? So yeah. So it's great when you're like, hey man.
I wanted to mention that I don't like being like a nitpicker or anything. That wasn't the intention.
No,
it's
it's perfect.
That is an area of such an interest area that interests me, because you have to develop that muscle. Like today, I developed that muscle by making this phone call. I really, maybe I could have waited till later on when I perhaps prepared a script.
No, there's no need to wait. Just call. Just pick up the phone and call, man.
Yeah, and today's phone call developed my the area that muscle.
I love it.
Now I'm doing it. I did a difficult thing, and then next week I'll do another difficult thing, because this phone call helped me do that.
Beautiful.
By making a difficult thing.
Beautiful.
So that's the area I wanted to know. What is that area? What's the part of the brain? So now I know, what I'm dealing with. It's it's very beneficial to me, to other people.
Brilliant. Well, Sully, I appreciate you hanging out with me on the show, joining me on the show. I'm gonna let you go here. We got Global. Jumping in with a quick comment.
Thank you so much.
Mike Sullivan, I appreciate you, brother. Have yourself a great day, okay?
All right. Have a great weekend too.
You too. All right. Mike Sullivan joining us all the way from Southern California. He gets up early with us, and I am nothing but grateful for that. Michael Global coming in saying the full spectrum show. Yes. Self-love, business, personal relationships, and health, all connected and all in synchronicity. I'll tell you what's in synchronicity. I got a friend sitting in the green room. I'm going to call him a friend. He's a good dude. He's out there dispelling bullshit around the planet. Jimmy, I think we might have something for the man himself. 3 points, 3 Petro points. John Petrocelli. Jimmy, what do you got? Oh,
oh hey.
I thought Jimmy had a segment opener, and that's my segment opener. I got Petro doing the arm curls as he walks into the lab. Good morning, my brother. How are you, friend?
Good. What's up? What's shaking?
Just another day in the lab here, having a good old fun show here. And, you've dropped a couple. Hey, Lady Drew, I see you coming in there. I'll get back to you in a few minutes. Okay, Drew? You dropped a couple comments this week in the lab, which I wanted to reflect upon with you on, because I really appreciated them. And you said, you said twice this week, the honesty and transparency that comes out of this place. You said it in a way that you were surprised. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but I say it in a way that you're like, holy smokes, this is an honest, transparent place. What did you take from some of the conversations this week, John?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. That was confirmatory.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things you get with a live stream that you don't get with an edited podcast. And yeah, I think just the disclosure and the willingness to
share
and be honest with whatever discussions come up. I mean, and I think you mentioned Howard Stern's radio show a lot of times, and I think that's one of the things people actually liked about it, was that it was raw, and it's honest, whether you like it or not. I think people, they tune into that because they can relate to that. And I think it's a great element of the show that I think that it's more likely to come with the territory of a live stream.
You just said it, John, and I think you're bang on, man. It's the relatability, right? That's what I'm learning as I continue to do the show and getting feedback from our awesome folks, including yourself, which is, I'll say something, Anderson, you'll say something, and somebody out there goes, oh, that's kind of like me, or that's happened to me, right? And you're right. I think when we listen to podcasts or recorded things, we hear it in the moment, but then when the moment is over, we forget about it. But right now, live in the moment, like Mike Sullivan, like he said himself, my words, not his, but building up to find the time or the courage. Like, I'll write a script for the show. I did it today. I'm like, dude, let's make a phone call. It's human to human. If we, as Keith and John can break down barriers, man, if we can help dudes move forward by simple things on a daily basis, that's fucking magical, man.
I think so. I think you just saw that with Mike Sullivan's call.
Yeah. Yes.
So you provide that platform, and then it's something that people can really tap into, I think.
How's your week been, pal? How's your week been?
Excellent. Hey, speaking of comments, I did want to clarify my earlier comment. I thought you were asking John, how do you get out of a date, with a
Yes.
potential romantic partner. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I've used if I ever changed my mind before the date, I would say, you know what? I think you you remind me of my sister. And that was just an easy way, because then it's like that's an easy out. It's like, okay, it's sort of it's an easy it's an easy and understandable, reasonable letdown, as opposed to, yeah, I just changed my mind about you. So that's what I was referring to.
Yeah, was that what you used in the past to get yourself out of things?
Yeah, that's worked really well.
That's worked really well, says Dr. Jon Petrocelli today, the bullshit professor, joining us from the Eastern Coast. Hey, so here's a question for you. Actually, let's have a conversation about some current events that's happened in the news this week. But also, I don't want to make it political. I want to talk humanity around it. So we know that there was a big meeting that happened in Quantico this week.
Oh yeah,
and it was all about rah 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 and warrior attitude, and I got no problem with any of that. Frankly, I guess fine. That's fine. But where I was struggling a little bit was maybe not leaning into some of the things that John talked about with his friend Dave, and the human that sometimes we kind of forget about. And that's, at the end of the day, regardless of what political color we are or where our beliefs are, that we still are human beings inside ourselves, and we all have fears and scares and these feelings that we often don't talk about. And I just found it's funny because all these men were brought in and it was like, rah, 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 rah. If you don't stand up for it, you can leave. What did you think of that?
Yeah, to me, well, at first, especially with the flag backdrop, I couldn't help but think of George C. Scott and the movie Patton. I thought it was sort of a
well said,
sort of a trying to spin off or make it look like it was, it did have that pep rally kind of feel. The top military officials all sat there very stoically. I think they're trained to do that. So it was kind of hard to read their reaction to the content and the sort of the content was kind of sprinkled with praises, but also sprinkled with criticism.
Yes.
And I find it that peculiar that the only place to improve the military is through their physical appearance. I have trouble. I have trouble believing that's the only place to improve. Because everything else was, it seems, sort of somewhat critical. So I would imagine that you can hide discomfort and anger and resentment behind a stoic look.
Yeah.
So, I do have some friends that are in the military that spoke about, sort of their resentment about a lot of the content that was in both of the
speakers' notes,
long speeches.
Yes.
So yeah, there were a lot of contradictions and a lot of quite a lot of bullshit. In my opinion.
I had the word on my tongue. You pulled it out though, because I was just about to ask you, how much bullshit do you think was strewn at that discussion this week? There's a big pile of it, I suspect.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting the transcript through through my Claude AI script just to find the percentage that I've written. So I've got a number of dictionary, sort of a dictionary of words. No particular word is indicative of bullshit, but the presence of several of them
together
in the absence of evidence-based language is usually a pretty good sign. So I would guesstimate at least 40%, and that would probably be that's average. So I think that's my best guesstimate. But there is something to be said about the contrast between the speakers and the audience.
Oh, without a doubt, there's a contrast. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I found that really peculiar. I almost was I had the sense that the speakers didn't really understand how excellent the audience actually is.
Oh, so I would suspect that the speakers had no connect to how talented the audience was, and as I looked at the audience was looking at the speakers like, do you even know what the hell we do for a living? Like, I think some of them are like, hey, punk, I could have changed your diapers. I think some of the audience was probably looking at one of the speakers thinking, who are you telling me what I should be doing? Weren't you sitting at a news desk a couple of years ago reading the news?
Yes, I mean, yeah, and if I in my teaching, I have to connect with students. I have to have examples that are part of their world.
Yes.
Otherwise I'm not relevant. So I don't use I don't use examples. In judgment and decision making, I don't use examples of experiments with Polaroid cameras. Today I'm talking about Sora. Or
going there next,
that are part of their world. They don't know what a Polaroid camera is anyway.
Yes.
And that just comes with good teaching and understanding your audience and what knowledge they have. Otherwise you kind of sound condescending and paternalistic if it's you're just kind of preaching what they're already well aware of.
I'm glad you used the word condescending, because that's the best way to wrap up this part of this conversation, because that's how I took it. I took it as very much a condescending talk down, just an observation. But hey, pivoting, brother, you were one of my first. No, you are my first. Oh, there's a hook, Jimmy. John Petrocelli is my first Sora friend, other than Tom Ritchie. Yeah, so we are now connected on Sora, man. And I haven't seen you play with my head yet. I haven't seen you use my head. Yeah. I haven't seen you, massage my head or juggle my head, or you haven't done anything with my head, Dr.
Not yet. I've been experimenting with it, and it spent about 2 hours on Thursday. It's actually quite a lot of fun.
It is fun. It's ridiculous how fun it is, actually.
Yeah, just to see yourself.
Yeah.
But actually, I was thinking. So the first video that I made was me jogging in a wooded forest. Okay, and it made me much skinnier and sleek looking, and I thought this could actually be used as a tool for motivation and be like, oh, that's how I could look.
Yeah.
So and I looked like I was having a lot of fun on the run, which I don't usually have a lot of fun. So I was thinking maybe what I need to do is find some wooded trails, and that looks a lot more fun than the neighborhood jog that I usually take.
I love it. Yes, Tom Ritchie, John, the doctor, the bullshit professor, is on Sora too, man. So go sign. Hey, we can do a boy band. Tom Ritchie, Petrocelli, and Billis. We can do like a boy band thing, man. And I'm looking forward today. And Richie, I'm looking to see my head in your queue. So I appreciate that. I have that I'm part of your queue. But John, I'm with you, man. It's a fun app, and I think it's actually going to become quite successful. And it's funny, so I was doing some reading on it this morning, and some of the commentary around it is 90% of humans don't create. We're consumers. And with this, you don't got to take a photo. You just use your words. Like the barrier to entry is it's quite awesome, actually. There's no barrier.
It's like having a production team at your side, or a drone with a really high quality camera following you around, because like the angles and shots of me jogging in the forest is like amazing. I mean, it was much better than anything that if I actually had, someone working a drone while I'm taking a jog. I mean, and I think that's how some of these, these influencers that do their, that give advice on their jogs on Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
Well, I hired Ronald McDonald. Ronald McDonald was doing the drone work for me yesterday on top of the CN tower there.
Yeah. I imagine someone's following them in a car or something with a camera. I mean, you don't really need to do that now.
Hey, Petro, while I got you here, brother, one of the big conversations today we had on the table was, why the same goal strategy doesn't work for everyone. As a psychologist, as a professor of social studies and so forth, you know, not in a long answer, but in a tight answer, what would you say would be the reason why the same goal strategy doesn't work for everyone? What do you know scientifically?
I like how you give me that qualifier. So I think people are much more complex than we realize in almost every domain of study. Every domain of study is, I tell my students probably half of what they learn in an intro psychology course or any course in psychology, probably half of it's wrong. And that what I mean by that is that it's incomplete. So we discover relationships between variables and general tendencies, and then usually within 5 years, you got a host of researchers finding what we call moderators or qualifiers. In business, they call them segmentation. So they say, well, we find this relationship in this population, but we don't find it in this other population, and the populations differ in their culture, for instance, or it might be their mindset, or it might be their reinforcement, punishment, history, personal. You know, so it's there's a lot of variables at play that sort of turn the light switch on or off, or change the direction from a positive to a negative relationship. And so it's much more complicated. And so that's why I advocate for trying things out yourself.
Yeah.
You have to experiment yourself. The experiment is the greatest tool that we have. And you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be a researcher or a lab technician or a PhD to conduct a simple experiment.
But what it does, John, is I think what it really does for us as humans, and maybe what it does is it encourages us to reframe the idea of failure as learning. And that's it's funny, because if I can make the rest of my life have men think about failure as learning, man, would we change so much, right? Because we often don't do something because we're scared of failure. It's one of man's biggest fears. I'm going to fail. I'm not going to do it. But then once you make that mind, once you've made the decision, you're not going to move forward at all because you've decided you're already going to fail.
Absolutely, yeah. And you've just got to sort of take it as a data point.
Yes.
As opposed to saying, well, this isn't going to work at all. Like, I actually hate running.
So do I. No, hold on.
Yeah.
Jon Anderson would say to me, "What is it, John? You strongly dislike running."
Strongly dislike it.
Thank you. Yes.
And I've said that to myself for years.
Yes.
However, I think it's worth trying this wooded trail jog, and perhaps it won't be disliked as much.
Yes.
But it's worth trying. So I did my 4 mile this morning.
Good for you.
And it's like I don't even remember it. It's almost do it automatically, but it's I think it's worth trying some, changing that up a little bit and trying to take them as data points as opposed to just concluding that I will forever.
But this to me is where I think the strength of a curious soul is constantly trying, reiterating, failing, trying, because you might say to me, "Hey, Keith, do this because this is what worked for me."
Yeah.
But what I don't know is the variables that you haven't shared, right? What time you got to bed, how you did this, and it's all these little micro variables throughout your day that we overlook that you're like, "No, Keith, eat this, do this. It should work for you because it works for me." But yet you neglected to tell me that, well, I've been doing this too, and this adds up to this. Oh, that's why what you're saying to me is I really got to find what works best for me. What you can do is give me the structure around it, but I got to do it myself.
Yes. Yeah.
Simple.
The hardest thing I've discovered is just getting ready, putting on the shoes and kind of like, it's the lead up to, it's not so much the actual behavior. But that's the world of psychology, is figuring out those variables. And what we usually find is there's a lot of variables at play that help explain why, well, one thing might work well for one. And so
then let me ask you this: does it make it easier for you to do what you dislike? running. So Keith and John can go running together every Friday because we both dislike it together. We'll just I'll text you in the morning and say, I'm doing what I dislike right now. Okay, Keith, me too. And then we'll get through it together. But my point is that in the world of psychology, does it make it easier for our brain when you get up in the morning that your shoes are set, your shorts are set? Does it make it easier for you to remove that obstacle to achieve that goal based on social psychology, or is that just what we think we tell ourselves?
Yeah, 100%. That's pretty well established. We call them implementation or like behavioral implementation sort of instructions.
Okay.
And if you have sort of a when I'm in this situation, I will do this sort of plan. You're much more likely to do it. You got your clothes out, you got your shoes out for the morning, and it's you just make it easier. You're already taking steps towards commitment.
Because if I put them on, it's highly unlikely I'm taking them off without following through, right? So what you're saying to me is, Keith, if you put your gym clothes out and I put them on, the brain says, okay, your uniform is on to now go to the gym. More than likely, my brain is not saying, take them off. Go to the gym.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was shown. There's a researcher. At UNC.
Yeah.
Chapel Hill that Sheehan has done. His whole work shows that these implementation intentions like help people take their medication.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
A big impact. Like one of the biggest problems with medical care is that people often fail to take their medications.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But with implementation intentions, okay, Monday morning at 8:00, when I'm, having my coffee or whatever, I will also take my medications, whatever.
What we would call like a habit stack. The scientific word is implementation. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you're then that's more likely to lead to, okay, well, let me get one of those vitamin, pill boxes for the week or whatever, and have that ready. And it's like one thing leads to another, but it makes a big impact. I mean, it's like you'll take it from like 30% to more like 60%.
Yes.
Of compliance. So,
hey, doctor, before I let you go, brother, I always love our conversation, man. I really do. I love that this segment has come to life here. Hey, quickly before I let you go, Melissa has a question for us. Is body language perhaps or not perhaps a better indicator of somebody bullshitting you? Is body, I guess I'll rephrase it. Is body language an obvious way of somebody bullshitting you?
I don't believe so. I don't have it. I don't have any systematic,
proof
data to support it, but
interesting.
That's waiting for empirical investigation.
Interesting.
So we really don't know. There's a lot of lip service about this in the literature on lying.
Yes,
but it's not very reliable, and most people often believe that they're good at lie detection. But if you tell people, okay, here's two claims, one is true and one is a lie. They rarely perform better than chance probability. You got to perform significantly better than 50%. But if you just tell people claims, give people 10 claims and half of them are lies, and you don't tell them that half of them are lies.
Yeah,
they're much. I mean, it's much worse. I mean, they're extremely poor at spontaneously detecting lies. So people's confidence and optimism with the task is much greater than their actual performance. They're very, very poorly calibrated. And that's coming from the lie and deception.
I love the social sciences, man. They're fascinating because humans fascinate me. Yeah. Hence, we're creating the dumb shit award that we're going to hand out weekly or daily to people who do dumb shit. And I'm looking forward to doing that. But you could teach me how to get out of a lie detector test, I suspect, right?
Oh, certainly. Yeah.
Is that right, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, they're easy to fool. Yeah.
Very
little, on polygraph tests, there's very little evidence that suggests that they're accurate as well. And it's
really
very easy to, because it's really just a contrast between sort of your baseline questions.
Yes.
They might ask you things that, wouldn't have any reason to lie about how many siblings you have.
And then they throw a zinger at you, and you're like, oh.
it's usually more yes or no. Like, do you have more? You have more than 5 siblings? Yes or no? Were you born in the North American continent? Yes or no? Whatever. It's things you wouldn't lie. And then they contrast that with things that you might be motivated to lie about. And it's relatively easy to kind of flex some muscles during the baseline, such that if you get, your heart rate goes up or skin conductance, increases.
Oh yeah.
That'll also happen, and you won't find a contrast between the baseline. So those are easy to fool.
We're talking lie detectors with the resident bullshit professor himself, Dr. Jon Petrocelli. John, I appreciate you, brother. A lot of respect, a lot of love. What's going on today in your world?
Oh, not much. We have a tennis tournament this weekend, so
fun.
We will be competing in.
Oh, so you're being tennis dad then? What you're actually saying is you're being tennis dad this week.
Tennis dad this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out next weekend to go watch my son play hockey. I'll be hockey dad on the TV. His games are on the TV tonight and tomorrow, so I'll be watching. I'll be the hockey dad myself tonight and tomorrow.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right, brother. I appreciate you. Have yourself an awesome day. I always love you joining us, and we'll look forward to connecting you next week. Okay.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, pal. All right, Jon Petrocelli's out of here, guys. Let's walk him out of here, Jimmy. We'll get back to the community corner. I love that segment, guys. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. I know you guys do. It's the social sciences, humanity. Melissa says it best, man. Another day on the planet Earth. Really. Theater of Earth. Everything that we do out here. All right, it's time for Community Corner. We're going to connect some LinkedIn. I'm with you, B-Drive. Yes. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. John's very grateful, very gracious with his time. If you guys are looking for an expert in social sciences and psychology, go connect with Dr. Jon Petrocelli. He's over on LinkedIn. Richie, go connect with him, brother. We're going to get some boy bands going. Yes, some good vibrations happening on Sora. Keith's head, Richie's head, Petro's head, all bouncing around. The old goats. Oh, did I just say that, Richie? Yeah, the old goats. Yeah, instead of Backstreet Back, all right, it's going to be the old goats with Keith, John, and Tom. All right, guys, today's story, Pack a Punch Cowboy, reminding us that manhood is forged in the fight. A Substack lesson on why doing more might be your downfall. And a LinkedIn post that dismantles Sunday anxiety with practical, no bullshit boundaries. Nation, you know the sound effect. Let's get into it. YouTube, life isn't supposed to be easy. Really? Here's why that's a good thing. Growth X drops a short clip featuring Dwayne Noel of Dry Creek Wrangler School. And it's blunt. Oh, did we say blunt? Ha! Richie, Bernard, let's go roll a blunt and go smoke it with. I'm looking for the name. Oh, yeah, Dwayne Noel. This is the part of the show where the host just gets kind of fucked up along the way. Yeah, because life's supposed to be hard. Feeling sadness, depression, or defeat's not weakness. It's proof that, you're human. Yep. What makes you a man isn't winning instantly. No. It's staying in the fight when you're down. So, here's the invitation. Plant your feet. Smile through the bruises. Swing until the bell rings. And then rest, recover, and return with quiet dignity daily. Yeah, well, listen, that's perseverance. That's pride. It's pride you earn, not the kind you post about. So here's the question for you, nation. Ears up, everybody. When life knocks you down, do you actually rest and recover? Or do you collapse and fold? Substack's talking about old goats chasing squirrels. Global? Yeah. No, Substack's actually talking about why doing more might be ruining your success. You know who's talking about it? Well, Paul Leviton. Paul Leviton writes that failure in business and in life rarely comes from doing too little. I would agree. It comes from doing too much. He calls it gluttony. Oh, yeah. Crumbs, cupcakes expanded like crazy and collapsed. Steve Jobs, who took Apple from 300 products down to 10, and the world knows how that story ended. The lesson? Do less, do it better. Same for your habits. If you're overtraining, you're over dieting, you're over hustling, it's all diminishing returns. So listen to this, guys. Progress isn't about piling more on your plate. It's about actually saying no to more. It's about cutting until you can execute flawlessly. So here's the gut check on a Friday. What's one thing you need to cut today so the rest of your work actually thrives? Bernard, you talk about my beard? or your own, or whose beard? Oh, Dwayne Knoll. Yeah, smoking blunts with Dwayne Knoll. Guys over on LinkedIn, killing Sunday anxiety before it kills your week. Well, Phil Graham got tired of Sunday dread. Actually, I got a rant on this one. Hold on. Put it down, Jimmy. When I saw this, there we go. All right, we're doing this over here, guys. All right. Boom, boom. If we get the Sunday scaries, it's time to get a new fucking Sunday. What? Yeah, get a new Sunday. What does that mean? Well, get rid of all the shit in your life that's giving you the Sunday scaries so you can get a new Sunday. I'm fucking tired of hearing people with the Sunday scaries. If you have the Sunday scaries, get a new job. I know it's not as easy as I say it is. But dude, those Sunday scaries are going to be back the next Friday, the next Sunday, the next. I've been there. I've been the guy with the Sunday scaries many times in my life, frankly. But it didn't change until I made the change. So I'm actually not going to go to the Sunday scary story with Phil Graham. No. I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of peace of my mind. That if you have the Sunday scaries, make a change. And you know where you can make that change? With us. Every single day, Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. It's called Mornings in the Lab. Hang out with me and John and Petro and Lady Drew and Bernard and everybody on the table here. We will help you get towards next Sunday and not make them scary. So I'm tired of people talking about Sunday scaries. There's no reason to get up at 30 or 40 or 50 and have Sunday scaries. Your life is not worth being miserable over if you have the Sunday scaries. So officially today on this show, Sunday scaries are out the fucking window. If you got the Sunday scaries, I need you to go look in the mirror and ask yourself a question. Are you the average person? Are you the average man that is going to take these Sunday scaries and just accept them? Or are you going to do something about it? And again, I know it's not hard, not easy, but if you need help, let us help you get out of the Sunday scaries. Don't wreck your life with the Sunday, because what happens is, because I've been there, it's Friday, you're excited, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to get through tomorrow. I'm still excited because it's Saturday. And then as the hours go through Saturday, you're looking at the clock, you're looking at the watch, you're looking at the day, you're looking around the corner, and you're thinking, oh my God, tomorrow's Sunday, it's going to fucking shit. Oh my God, it's going to be Monday. I'm just nervous. So nation, if you have Sunday scaries, stop. Come hang out with us. 8 o'clock. Live. We'll help you get rid of those Sunday scaries. So Phil Graham, I'm glad that you stopped comparing yourself to everyone else's highlight reel. And I'm glad that you cut the needy clients. I'm glad that you systemized your content. And I'm glad that you doubled down only on what mattered right now. And I'm glad that the results were this, nation. The Sundays became peaceful. The Mondays became sharper. So as Phil Graham says, here's the takeaway. You don't need everything at once. No. You need alignment, you need boundaries, and you need the fucking guts to cut what drains you. Maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your job. Cut it. Be courageous. Learn. What's one boundary you're avoiding that would instantly bring you peace? And if you need help, come hang out with us in the lab. True story. 3 stories. 1 theme. Stop trying to escape the fight. Face it, simplify it, and own it, whatever the obstacles are. If you want your story featured on this show, Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends, I invite you to follow us, tag us in your next post Or more importantly, put my head in your next Sora video. Yeah, that's what we'll do. All right, Jimmy, we got some creators to celebrate. Let's get after it. What if your side hustle turned into an empire? But 12 years ago, one Londoner just wanted to help people find the right sneakers. Fast forward, he's built a global community of over 4.5 million, created a top 100 app, and generated more than 250 million pounds for the biggest names in sport and style. That's not hype, that's results. Mornings in the Lab is excited to celebrate George Sullivan, the founder of The Soul Supplier, where sneaker culture meets real business impact. Follow George for unfiltered insights on entrepreneurship, brand growth, and the marketing tactics shaping today's game. Moments, they start in a moment of curiosity. Well, George was working in recruitment, not fashion, not tech, not marketing, and yet he spotted a simple problem. People couldn't find the speakers they wanted. What? So instead of ignoring it, he built something for them. And that spark turned into a global community now millions strong. And what we love is George's honesty about the journey. He talks openly about the grind, about the wins and the losses, and about the struggles of making it big. Well, George, I got an invitation for you, brother. And the invitation looks just like this. I got a spot in the lab for you. I got a spot in the lab for you to come over to hang out with me, Johnny, Jimmy, Melissa, the whole gang, Rahima. We're going to give you the creator spotlight so we can shine on somebody in your world, George, on an upcoming segment of the Community Corner on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends. Jimmy, who's next? What if everything you've been taught about following your feelings is destroying your growth potential? Most people believe comfort equals self-care and trusting emotions leads to authentic living. One writer challenges these assumptions through philosophical reasoning and psychology. He's discovered that emotional responses often contradict what we need to do. His contrarian approach helps writers and entrepreneurs abandon feel-good platitudes for uncomfortable truths that drive results. Mornings in the Lab is excited to celebrate Sterling, creator of Mind Hooks on Substack, where he deconstructs persuasive writing psychology and challenges popular wisdom. Creators are willing to be the person in the room who says what everyone else is thinking, but afraid to voice. Well, Sterling, nope, not Sterling James. Sterling is one of those rare voices who isn't interested in making you feel comfortable. He's interested in making you grow. While everyone else is telling you to follow your heart and trust your feelings, Sterling is over there saying, hold up. Your emotion just might be heading you straight into mediocrity. This guy has the intellectual courage to challenge the very foundation of modern self-help culture. And in a world full of people telling you what you want to hear, this kind of real talk is exactly what we all need more of. So, brother, Sterling, I got an invitation for you, pal. And the invitation says, come on, hang out in the lab with some of the old goats. Yeah. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And Sterling, we'd love to have you here as well. We'd love to give you the creator spotlight so you can shine it on somebody in your orbit on an upcoming segment of the big show's Community Corner, the creator spotlight right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and everybody else. All right, guys. Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's that camera. I'm going to go over there. Look at that one. It's supposed to go like this. Yeah, it's a little crooked, though. All right, guys, listen. Show's over. Yeah, it is, actually. Fun show here today. All right, guys, this is a wrap on another week in the lab. Yes, we started this morning talking about AI Godfathers, fake grandmas on Instagram, and skate ramps off of skyscrapers. But we all brought it back to the core. And you know what? I purposely didn't even talk about this today. You know why? Because it's what we do. Because if I talked about it, it would seem not normal. It would be like talking about breathing. And what am I talking about? Accountability. This show, the entire platform we are building, is being built around one topic and one topic only. It's accountability. Getting up, getting after it, even when we don't want to. Here, 8 o'clock, live. Bernard, I appreciate you, brother. I do. Another great week. Thank you so much. Mike Sullivan, thanks for joining us. But accountability is the crux of all of our success. I need you guys to show up for the show so I can build something. There's my selfish statement. Like, I'm suspecting you guys don't need me, but you like to come here because we give you the accountability to get up and get after it daily. It costs you nothing. It's the only free accountability show on the planet, and we call it Mornings in the Lab. And this accountability, all of you, changed my life. True motherfucking story. So, the key topic for today was how accountability changed our lives. Fuck. You're looking at it every single day, 8 o'clock. But just because this weekend's here, it doesn't mean it's time to slack or put accountability aside. Because your goals, they don't care what day it is, guys. Nope. That's why we call it the morning loop. So, this is your shot, guys, to get ahead while everyone else is coasting. Those that aren't tuning in right now, they're coasting. So, I got an invitation for you, gentlemen. You got 2 solid days where you can reset, you can recharge, and you can stack wins before Monday hits. Speaking of Monday, guys, here's what we got headed for next week in the lab. We're going to kick off with the one switch challenge. What if there is just one lever you can pull to flip your energy from lazy to limitless? We're going to show you how. Tuesday, we're going to talk about the lab morning routine. Midweek, we're going to get into some of the dots between fitness and fortune, because winners know their morning reps aren't just about muscle. They're about money, leadership, and impact. Thursday, we're going to get practical. Friday, we close off with a full success blueprint month and review goal setting, accountability check to make sure you just didn't survive October. Let's go, Nation. Here's what I got for you. Bernard says it. I think we all bring something and have plenty to gain. I'm with Bernard. I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn from all of you. I'm just the guy who set it up. That's it. Just the guy who's setting it up. But I'm learning from all of you just like you're learning from all of us. So, Nation, have yourself a good one. Don't hit the snooze button. Don't drift. Come join me in the Mornings in the Lab community. And hey, guys, come join me on Sora. Let's connect on Sora all weekend. I want to see you guys on Sora. Richie, Drew, Bernard, if you guys need invites, Brandon, Jensen, you guys need invites, come knock on my door. This is the hard start. This is your edge. Enjoy your weekend, fellas. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends was out of here. We'll see you Monday, 8 o'clock, live. Jimmy, I'm out of here.
True motherfucking story! Mornings in the Lab, 8 a.m. YouTube live!